कुमार स्वामी नायक गोंगो लुगु लटोका रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
Good evening, Fiji. In this bulletin, landowners told to action land by PM. Fiji First distances itself from Kishore Kumar. And stroke cases a cause for concern.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
Prime Minister and Chairman of Ethel Land Trust Board, Vorengem Bainimarama, has today jolted the landowners, calling them to action in a bid to grow the Fijian economy. While officiating at the TLTB Seed Fund grant for 53 landowners, the Prime Minister said the Fijian economy has not been spared by the impact of COVID-19, and such assistance is expected to get the economy back on track. Apinisa Wangarandovu reports over $458,000 was distributed to landowners to manage a business through the use of their land, with the warning that it was not a handout but a startup.
The Prime Minister says unless the land is put into productive use, it will only remain an asset without any value.
We have to create economic activity, create jobs, create development, and create prosperity for ourselves. That's what the seed funding grant is designed to do. It is not a handout. It is an investment to empower our land-owning communities to tap their assets and entrepreneurial spirit to make themselves financially powerful.
Landowners were reminded that while no repayment is expected from them, the grant must generate income.
For starting a business can be hard. That is why we are stepping up with funding to help you realize your land's full potential. Because we believe that your victories are your nation's victories. When you do well by developing your land, starting a business, or growing crops which help sustain our people, your families do well, your communities do well, and so do all of your fellow Fijians.
TLTB Manager Landowners Affairs Unit, Aquila Rembebu, says they will start disbursing the grant from tomorrow, provided the recipients meet all requirements.
You have to provide the quotation, and their delay will be our delay on the payment. And our financial year ends on the 24th of December, so all funds has to be dispersed by then.
Since the inception of the grant in 2017, $1.5 million have been given out, and TLTB says recipients are thriving in their respective businesses, whether it be crop or yangona farming, aquaculture or other business. Apinisa Wangarandovu, FBC News.
The Fiji First Party has confirmed that it has no connections to Facebook commentator Kishore Kumar, who is currently in police custody. Kumar has been arrested in relation to videos and comments against NFP MP Lenora Ngerengere-Tambua, claiming to have a pornographic video of her. Edwin Nund reports.
Fiji First General Secretary Aya Sayed Kayum has today clarified the party has nothing to do with Kumar or his posts on Facebook.
Obviously, Mr. Kishore Kumar, like many other people on social media, is a free agent. He has his own opinions and own views depending on what point in time. So in that context, I mean, he has said many things about the party and those opposed to the party.
The National Federation Party has released a video from 2017 where Kumar claims to be the head of social media for Fiji First. The video on the NFP Facebook page was filmed during a rally in Nasinu. However, Syed Kayum says the same individual has in the past made comments against the ruling party.
The new constitution.
He has been critical of the Fiji First Party in the past. He's been critical of individual ministers. He's even been critical of the Prime Minister at one stage in time. He's been critical of other political parties.
Kumar, a computer science teacher, has posted numerous videos attacking NFP MP Lenora Ngerengere-Tambua's character, claiming to have a pornographic video of her. He did not respond to FBC News when asked to independently verify if there was in fact any such video. Kumar in 2017 identified himself as the leader of the Investigative Research Intelligence Unit on social media and the head administrator of Fiji First on social media. Edwin Nund, FBC News.
Fiji and the European Union have ended 2 days of high-level political negotiations for support packages to help COVID-19 recovery. Minister for Economy Ayasai Kayum and European Union Ambassador to Fiji Sujiro Sim today provided an update on the talks. Indications are that the EU is willing to provide Fiji with more opportunities.
The existing support available to small developing states falls well short of what is necessary to ensure we are part and parcel of the global recovery. We express the urgency of the European Union's generous support towards the next round of IDA financing through the World Bank.
It doesn't mean that they become secondary. We will still work on sustainable development, climate and oceans, but we are now ready to work on other issues and put more emphasis on business, economy and trade, and on defense and security issues.
Stroke does not discriminate by age, and the increasing number of cases is a worry. On the occasion of World Stroke Day, it was revealed that every year hundreds of Fijians suffer stroke. Kritika Kumar with more.
According to health professionals, on average, at least 2 patients are admitted daily at the CWM hospital because of stroke.
You have heart diseases where the rhythms of the heart are not doing too well and valves of the heart are not functioning. You look at the lifestyle, people are very obese, and you have a lot of fat deposits in the blood vessels to the brain.
Krishna says now they are seeing younger people suffering from stroke.
We need to encourage the public at large to come over to hospital as soon as possible to seek medical advice.
Counter Stroke Fiji trustee says some of the preventative measures put in place to battle COVID-19 is essential to counter NCDs.
Our fight against NCD starts at home, in the family. We were locked down at home for 40 weeks. So the message, number one, in the absence of Kiwa, stay at home.
Counter Stroke Fiji believes more needs to be done in both the public and private sectors about stroke prevention. Thus, World Stroke Day is celebrated on October 29 each year, and the theme this year is Don't Be the One. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
A trial date is expected to be set in 2 weeks for former Suva lawyer Shazran Abdul Latif and co-accused Zoe Maharaj Moore. The two appeared before Chief Magistrate Usai Ratuvili this morning. Latif and Moore are charged with 3 counts of being in possession of illicit drugs. It is alleged that Latif and Maharaj Moore were found in possession of 7.89 grams of methamphetamine, 12.49 grams of cocaine, and 2.5 grams of marijuana. A trial date was to be set today. However, Maharaj Moore's lawyer informed the court that he is not available for trial this year. The matter has been adjourned to 13th of November to fix a trial date. Up ahead, Fiji's Blue Lane gets US support, and villagers get support for climate change fight.
मैं तो दिल्ली में रहता हूँ और रेडियो फीजी रेडियो फीजी रोज सुनता हूँ।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
The efforts of the Blue Lane Initiative have been praised by American yachties. During a visit by the U.S. Ambassador to Fiji, Joseph Sella, to his fellow citizens in Denarau, he also commended the protocols put in place. Details with Felipe Naikaso.
The U.S. ambassador says he and his country will be advocating more about the Blue Lane Initiative to American yachties.
I hope to help tell the story about the goodness of the Blue Lane and how it works, and have many great fellow Americans here who have been here for a while. Some are more recently arrived, who cannot say enough good things about it.
With Fiji being mask-free and COVID-contained, these have attracted yachts to come to the place known as paradise.
It's been wonderful to have had the opportunity to come to a place like Fiji where they did such a great job of controlling this pandemic from the very beginning. And then
for this couple, they've been here since August and are planning to sail to New Zealand.
I think Fiji really has made the most of the situation here, and we've just had an absolutely wonderful time.
So far, 90 yachts have arrived under the initiative, with more expected.
We're looking at probably 5 super yachts. They haven't committed. So we're hoping that around about 100 boats in total might be here until the end of the year.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Commerce, Trade, Tourism and Transport, together with Port Danarau, are putting together a survey of the industry during this season. Philip Naikaso, FBC News.
The impacts of sea level rise and storm surge during cyclone season will be a thing of the past for Navindamu villages in Madawata province. A seawall is being constructed by the government, granting assurance to community members that climate change will not in any way alienate them from their pieces of land. Chosaina Nunga reports.
Turanga Niavusa Apinisa Rawanga says climate change and sea level rise continues to take toll on low-lying island villages.
I was born and raised in this village for 68 years now. I have seen changes in our surroundings now when compared to 20 years ago. We've been hearing about the impacts of climate change and the sea level rise, but now we are considered victims of this natural phenomenon.
The project was formalized after a request was submitted and approved by the government through the Waterways Ministry last year. From Madawata to Nrekenawai village in the Kaunrobe, similar projects are underway to mitigate the impact of climate change.
The new seawall will not only protect us from the impact of climate change and sea level rise. It will improve accessibility on sea transport and boost agricultural productivity for farmers in the village.
Both projects started earlier this year and is due to be completed by December. Shosaia Nanunga, FBC News.
A new plant health laboratory was launched today to support agriculture, the first of its kind in the Pacific. While launching the new lab, Pacific Community Deputy Director Audrey Amor says this will help our farmers in the fight against invasive species. Sainiani Boiler reports.
The lab, managed by the Pacific Community, will be classified at Containment Level 3, which will develop controls for emerging biosecurity threats, including pests and diseases.
New plant health laboratory in its role, which can really help us build longer-term solutions, longer-term sustainable solutions. This laboratory will have the capacity to support the wide range and diversity of the agricultural sector in the Pacific.
Australian High Commissioner to Fiji, John Fix, says the new lab will help improve and sustain the quality of life of Pacific Islanders.
I'm delighted that this facility will make a meaningful contribution, I hope, to Fiji's agricultural sector as well as to the broader regions.
The new plant health laboratory is situated at the Pacific Community Narere campus in Sino. Sainiani Boila, FBC News.
In an effort to assist vendors in this difficult time, the Vaiwai Small and Micro Business Association has taken a lead role in helping government develop community markets. The local government ministry had earlier said that they were keen on decentralizing markets to ensure they're accessible and easier for the public. Kelly Vavala reports the association hopes to engage with vendors and support their business in the long run.
With the local government ministry planning to expand this community market, the Vaiwai Small and Micro Business Association has backed the initiative.
The challenge that we face at the moment is, financial challenges. And the thing we put forward in terms of for this platform here is to give them an opportunity to have a place to sell their products. Currently, where our situation is, people have no money, so the sales within the communities has dropped drastically.
The association says they also want to provide a platform to enhance women participation, as majority are vendors within the Vaiwai community.
We are in the process of establishing a cooperative. Why the cooperative? Because the cooperative allows the whole community to invest.
Vendors say the expansion of the market and the need to be financially empowered is crucial.
We are looking forward to the expansion of this market. Most people in this area just walk from home to buy their produce here because it's convenient for them.
Developing this place goes well with us. Also being aware of our business options and how effective we want it to be in the future.
And it will be good for us, so we can improve our foods and fruits.
The association was formed on the basis of the current economic situation, and it aims to hold a market day every month. Kelly Vathala, FBC News.
Scars may heal, blood counts may normalise and years may pass, but cancer survivors can never again take life for granted. Sharing their cancer recovery journey during the Value City annual Pinktober event in Suva, Olive Zoing and Vili Rokovanda expressed the need for good support system for those diagnosed with cancer. Koroi Tandulala reports.
As the doctor was talking to me, I saw him moving his lips, but I could not hear what he was saying.
Diagnosed with cancer in 2017, Olive Zoe says there is a need for more awareness as it is not only hereditary but also environmental.
I thank God then that my granddaughter was with me. She kept me sane. She kept me from depression. My family was very supportive. Cancer is not a death threat. It's a wake-up call. I chose life.
Pastor Vili Rokovanda also shared his experience as a male survivor, saying it is important to break down the wall of masculinity.
Once it is small, you recognize that something wrong in there, it is time to go and visit the doctor. Not only women are going through cancer, but male too. If it is happening now, it will increase in the future, but we must be aware of it.
$12,632 was raised during the Valley City annual Pinktober event, and the money was donated to the Fiji Cancer Society. Koroi Tandulala, FBC News.
And Whitney joins us now with the latest in business.
Thanks, Jackie. Coming up in business tonight, hotel workers hoping for improvement. And in growing Fiji, deal signed for Tama Vaiwai Bridge. Stay with us.
Pula natang ko aprosa ng karse, ko erkraki, do talebe na parong na Radio Fiji 1, nandomo ibiti.
Radio Fiji 1, nandomo ibiti.
While the road back from tourism is long and winding, apart from hotels and resorts, several workers are banking on the Love Our Locals campaign. The Love Our Locals campaign was launched in June by the Tourism Ministry to help the tourism industry and ease the impact of COVID-19. Pranita Prakash reports.
Aniren Nangasu, who has been working at the Cruisers Retreat for 7 years, says he remains uncertain about his future, but hope is all he has.
To sustain ourselves, like we live in village, so we do a little bit of farming also to back up our jobs. The COVID is a problem, but also it taught us a lot of things. Save money, taking care of families. Small resort like us, I mean, we are also flexible, you know? So we try to accommodate all different guests we have.
The Cruisers Retreat based along Coral Coast has had more than 300 guests since the launch of Love Our Local campaign 4 months ago.
Yes, it has boosted our income, the launch of Love Our Locals, but else we are doing telemarketing and we are visiting corporate in person, and we get a lot of corporates where they come and spend team bonding retreats, reunion, conference and weddings.
Before COVID-19, the resort employed 40 staff. However, they had to lay off 15 staff and currently employ 25 who are working on a rotational basis and reduced hours. The resort was closed for 2 months and this time was used to renovate bures, conference rooms and bars. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Fiji wants to quickly take advantage of the recently signed trade and investment framework with the United States of America. The agreement, which came into effect on October 15th, will not only address the near-term problems, but also open up valuable opportunities for trade and investment. Speaking at the Pacific panel for Indo-Pacific Business Forum yesterday, Minister for Economy Aya Said-Kyum said there is hope for that the TIFA process can be used to give the entire region and the economic growth, sustainability and stability. Said-Kyum says in light of the devastating impact of COVID-19 in Fiji and the region, it is critical that we seek out new partnerships and strengthen existing alliances.
The US-Fiji TIFA includes an important provision for the participation of our neighbors, specifically allowing for inviting like-minded governments, some of whom are on this table, of the Pacific Island region to participate as observers in meetings of the US-Fiji Business Council on Trade and Investment.
We now join Sanifa from HFC Bank with the latest from the money market.
Looking at the latest from the currency market, The US dollar held gains against a basket of major currencies today as escalating coronavirus cases in Europe stoked fear across markets that fresh lockdowns would further hit the already fragile economic recovery. The safe haven greenback steadied against a basket of 6 currencies, taking a pause after its 0.3% gains in early trade. Traders also braced for volatility in the US election less than a week away, while the country also faces a coronavirus increase. Across the Tasman Sea, the New Zealand dollar edged higher against its US counterpart, while the Aussie dollar drifted away from its near one-week low overnight. In Europe, concern about further damage to the economic recovery grew as the French president and German chancellor ordered their countries back into lockdown yesterday as the second wave of coronavirus threatens Europe. That's all from HFC Bank for now. Vinaka.
Here today's local exchange rates as set early this morning. The Fiji dollar showed its strength against regional currencies, making a gain against the Aussie and Kiwi dollars as well as the PNG kina. It slid against the major currencies such as the US greenback and the Chinese yuan, which continue to fluctuate due to the coronavirus spread and the impending American election. Looking at commodities, prices were falling. Oil dropped to just above $37 a barrel. Gold was down, closing at $1,878 per ounce. And silver also showed a decline to close at $23.33 per ounce. The Ministry of Infrastructure and the Japan International Cooperation Agency have signed a development agreement for the construction of the Tama Vaiwai Bridge to expand it into a 4-lane road. Minister for Infrastructure Chone Ostamate says the signing is a momentous step towards enhancing accessibility to one of the key links to Suva. Koroi Tandolala reports.
The ministry says through their 5- and 20-year national development plan, the Fijian government has embarked on modernizing infrastructure with substantial investment to improve roads, bridges, jetties, streetlights and footpaths over the recent years.
Once it's a 4-lane, that means the traffic coming in and out of Suva will be able to flow much more effectively in terms of people moving across cargo. So eventually that's going to be a development that will have, and there's a lot of people moving in between Suva, Lami down to the west.
JICA's resident representative Ono Yukari says the development is currently on its detailed designing phase with construction to commence later.
And will contribute to the safety and the resilience from the natural disaster and ease the traffic jam, we hope.
The reconstruction of the key link between Lami and the capital city will not only improve movement but also improve the lives of about 90,000 people who utilize the Suva-Lami corridor on a daily basis. Koroi Tandolala, FBC News.
And that's it from Business Tonight. We now join Jamie with the latest in sports.
Thanks, Whitney, and good evening in Sports Tonight. Whites a step away from VPL title. And women's tens in the north. This and more coming up.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Fans can expect the young Ramsami Suva side to take the field against Namosi in the final round of the Skipper Cup competition this weekend. Several of the side's experienced players, including Chone Manu, Manasa Saulo, Absalome Vota and Elia Dhanakaivata, have been released to join Navy in the Escort Shield semi-finals. Tali Materkula reports.
The Suva team management says it will not be hard for the young players to lift their game as they've already been exposed to similar levels of competition.
Most of the players that have been fielded in, some of them have played twice, some have played 3 or 4 times already, so they are not new to this level of competition. I think we are ready to commit players that are ready to provide the service for Suva. As far as the Namosi game is concerned.
Despite the absence of several senior players, officials are confident the young reps will deliver the goods for the capital side come game day.
We are not afraid to field in new players that are coming in. We know the players that we train. We know the players that can deliver on the game day.
Expected to don the blue jumper on Saturday, 20-year-old Meli Tuni believes the team with the right mindset will come out victors.
We are not discouraged by our age since most of us are young, but we are thankful that we got to play among some of the best players, and we know that anything can happen in the Skipper Cup. Despite our age or build, we know we can get the job done.
Suva meets Namosi in the final round of the Skipper Cup on Saturday at 3 p.m. at Thompson Park in Nabua. Taile Materkula, FBC Sports.
With the aim of raising the profile of women's rugby in the north, a tens competition will be held at Subrel Park next Monday. The tournament comes at an ideal time after Madhuwata won the Women's Vanoa Championship title last weekend. Aquila Tama with the details.
The interest in women's rugby has taken many by surprise, which is one of the reasons the FRU Development Unit is looking north with its tens tournament.
When we're looking at the development of the women's game in Fiji, it's growing at a tremendous rate, and it's exciting to see the talents that's already been showcased with our skipper in our Vanua teams.
One of the new teams to compete is from the Garden Island.
And there'll be teams from Bua, the Konrobe, Madhuwata, and of course Tabuni as well, who've also just started their competition.
Talent identification is part of the process as the Fijiana prepares for the 2021 Rugby World Cup in New Zealand.
We want to bring them into a central location. For example, in Vanuatu, we will have all the coach and all his team and our high-performance units to identify talent that we believe can be. So we've done it in zones.
The North Regional Tens will kick off at 9 a.m. on Monday at Subrel Park in Lambasa. Aquila Tama, FBC Sports.
Flovel's Suva has a crucial game on Sunday taking on Rewa in what could be the Vodafone Premier League title decider. A win against the Delta Tigers could seal the deal on Suva becoming league champions. The Whites currently lead the standings with 25 points while Rewa sits on 23. Karlaini Tavi has more.
To get the win, head coach Babs Khan says maintaining possession is critical going up against a clinical Rewa side.
We just did some recovery training and focusing on giving ball possession, and we'll try to go for a draw and win against Nandi. And we have 4 points and we maybe win the National League.
Suva midfielder Madvan Gaunda, who had little to no support in his football career, knows the value of what the sport has done for him.
Actually, I was also part of that. My parents were stopping me from want to play soccer, and I also was not a bright student, but through soccer I also joined the police force today.
Getting his first VPL title for the Whites will be an honor, says the Rakiraki man.
It's a lot to me and my family. My family back at home in Rakiraki. We're looking forward and it will be a great pleasure and honor to be part of all this.
Suva will face Rewa this Sunday at Ratu Dakombo Park in Nosori at 3 p.m. Nasunu will also play Mba at the same venue on Sunday at 1 p.m. Karleni Tavi, FBC Sports.
Two sisters are aiming to win their first Vodafone Women's Inter-District Championship title together. Rewa reps Naomi and Sekola Wanganindrola have been playing football from high school and have loved every moment of the journey together. Tale Materkula caught up with them at ANZ Stadium and files this report.
22-year-old Sekola Wanganindrola was inspired by her sister's passion for football.
Big shoes to fill though, because she's kind of like my role model. I like to meet her expectations and play up to what she wants from me.
But standing as a role model comes with its load of pressure for 28-year-old Naomi Wanganindrola.
It's a standard that I need to meet first in order for her to fill in for myself. I'm still climbing up that ladder though. I still have time to learn more about football. But yes, age is catching up with me.
Naomi has been with the Rewa team since 2010, while Sekola joined 3 years later. The sisters say winning the IDC title together will be the highlight of their football journey.
We're hoping this is the year for us, and we're kind of like just working towards a game at a time. It would be an honor to win a tournament with her, and of course the whole team. This is a team thing. She's in it, that's the bonus.
Both will be in action for Rewa tomorrow when it takes on Suva in their last pool match. Tali Materukula, FBC Sports.
The Suva cricket team has booked a spot in the cup finals of the Cricket Fiji Association Cup. The capital city side beating Nandi at Albert Park yesterday. Nandi batted first for 154 for 10, while Suva scored 155 for 6. Suva coach Daniela Noulivo says injury is a concern heading into the finals on Saturday.
We have injuries in our team. We have 2 players. They didn't complete the innings because of hamstring.
On to our play of the day, and the Los Angeles Dodgers have won their first World Series since 1988 after beating the Tampa Bay Rays 3-1 to secure a 4-2 win in the best-of-7 championship. Here's the final play and the emphatic scenes of celebration that followed. That's it from Sports Tonight. Coming up in new media, Sony's yet-to-be-released PlayStation already in high demand. Details after the break.
Baik tu dia biar tahu रेडियो फिजी बहुत रेडियो फिजी रोज सुनता हूँ.
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन.
In new media tonight, Sony is seeing very considerable demand for its PlayStation 5 console via pre-orders, its gaming chief says. And Angie joins us now with the latest in weather.
Good evening and welcome to the Weather World. What a wonderful weather. The skies were brightly lit. Let's just say it was a great combination. The afternoon saw a few rain clouds and there is high chance for showers later tonight for certain areas. It will be a cool off. Now in the west, the sun was beautifully lit. It stayed put throughout the day. The night will be quite humid too. Eastwards from Pinktober to Suva, the day was split into 2 conditions, rain and shine. And up north, overcast conditions that turned to sunshine. At sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas. Turning to the tides, low tide at 11:35 p.m. with high tide at 5:40 a.m. Sunrise will be at 5:27. But tomorrow, it's a Friday, and guess what? The conditions look so amazing. It's already exciting because it's a long holiday. Tomorrow's temps, the Sugar City Lotoka will be warm at 35 degrees. And looking further on to Saturday, more sunshine in store for us. That's all from the Weather World. Have a great evening. It's back to Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fijian Pulse, we asked, what's your view on the national scabies program that will be rolled out by the Ministry of Health?
If it helps, then we continue with it. We just want to avoid the spread of scabies.
It's about time they put in place a program as such. This will greatly help us in the fight against the disease.
It's a good move by the Ministry of Health in putting in place a program to address the spread of scabies. It's also on us to keep our homes clean, well ventilated, and to ensure that it is safe from diseases.
Recapping the main stories for tonight, landowners told to action land by PM. Fiji First distances itself from Kishore Kumar. And stroke cases a cause for concern. Now for these stories and others, tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. Our poll question we're asking, should fireworks be allowed during Diwali? Visit our FBC website to answer. And on to our shot of the day. This comes all the way from Rotuma, and this picture was taken in Motusa village by Riten Gosai. Be sure to send us newsworthy pictures to email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj, via Facebook page FBC News and our Twitter page at FBC_news. That's your news for tonight. Until tomorrow from the team and I, stay safe. Bye for now.
कुमार स्वामी नायक है गोंगो लुगु लटोका रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।